Okay, Sarah, thank you for coming on. So you caught my attention because you got a Fogo airdrop. You've been a loyal community member, and I know that you did at least two things with the airdrop, which is pretty efficient. You had a party and you did some charity work. So why don't we start with the party? So tell me about the party. Who was there? What did you do?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me over Proof of Story, and I am really excited to be here. And I really appreciate you for taking out the time to discuss something that genuinely matters beyond just this Web3 and crypto world.
Cool. Yeah. So first, tell me about the party, and then we're gonna talk about the charity work.
All right, so party was all about my a small family and my close friends, and we had a very intimate dinner sort of a thing. It was really very I just made some dishes that was most favorite for my friends and family, and that's how we enjoyed the why when we discuss about how I contributed to Fogo and how genuinely I feel about Fogo, what I believe about Fogo. So I shared it with everyone, and everybody loved the idea and the concept because this thing is not really very common among my family and my friends. So I discussed this opportunity with them as well,
Cool.
and we're really happy about it.
And so, yeah, you're from Pakistan. So I don't really hear much about Pakistan and crypto. So tell me a little more. Like, what's going on there? Are there regulations? Do people use it? Do people use stable coins?
Okay, so Pakistan is really crypto is really untapped in Pakistan, and not much people are aware because crypto sounds like a scam thing for everyone right now here. So
Yeah.
awareness needs to be there. Slowly and gradually it's being regulated, and work is going on. Bilal bin Saqib, our crypto counselor, he is working on it, and he's doing very good work in terms of spreading awareness, bringing more people on board, especially into Solana ecosystem and Ethereum ecosystem. So
Cool.
they're, yeah, working rapidly, but similarly, like we need to do more about this in our region.
And is there a particular use case like payments or are payments an issue there? Or is how is the banking system there?
Banking system is purely traditional based, like conventional, and also recently many of like neo banks are now coming into Pakistan,
Cool.
and yeah, so the crypto decentralized thing and the Binance, the concept of Binance is really not known to people, and it has to be studied as well as taught to people. Like, not many people here are very much educated, and they do not want to do something different than their regular course of affair.
Yeah.
They are comfortable in their own zone, like doing cash exchanges and not going to the bank. They're not much into ATMs and stuff like that. So it's
Got it.
kind of it's kind of difficult right now to make
Yeah.
them feel good about this crypto thing and decentralized thing. But slowly and gradually, within like 10 within a span of 10 years or so, I really see Pakistan growing big in terms of this accepting the truth that decentralization and crypto is the real thing, and it's something beyond the scam. Yes, scam do exist, but it's not okay to generalize stuff like that. The crypto is the only thing that has a rug pull, or that has a scammy ponzi schemes and stuff like that.
Yeah. And do most people have cell phones? Like, because like in Brazil, for example, there's more cell phones than there are people. Because like most people have more than one cell phone, and that means that the adoption's crazy for things like WhatsApp and all mobile apps. So, what's the situation in Pakistan?
So adoption, in terms of adoption, I really feel that people here really need to accept the fact that digital transformation is massive around the globe. And here in Pakistan, we are still very much, lagged behind in terms of technology.
Mm,
Yes, there are people working very hard to promote this and to bring technological innovation, and but still people here are not ready to accept this very with very open heart.
yeah, gotcha. Okay, cool. Um, so let's talk about the charity work because what I was surprised by is, so I saw these pictures that you went to a village, and yeah. So why don't you explain it? Like, I'm curious. Give us like set the stage. What are these communities like? What are they lacking? And then what is the work that you're doing with them?
All right, so basically, I'll just be honest that uh, it really came from a very simple belief, my own belief, that success, itself is does not really mean much until it is shared with everyone, and it goes beyond just myself, right? So me, along with my husband is already into this social community service work. So we discussed and we decided to find the verified genuine cases where where such community initiatives were really required. So me and my husband, we already had been doing these work, like in terms of healthcare, in terms of education, provision of clean water supply, because these are the basic necessities that a normal living person requires. So when I saw the reality on ground, and I really felt that it's beyond an idea. It's now a responsibility. Now we have to step go one step forward and do something for them, because it's only the survival. We cannot even think of the growth thing, right? It's
Yeah,
just the survival, having clean water. You just have to imagine, like, for 2 minutes, like if you close your eyes and just imagine that women and children, they had to travel to 2 kilometers just to get clean water for the families. And in such area, around 800 families are already living, and that makes around 4,000 to 5,000 people, because the population here is also very massive.
yeah.
So yeah, so we thought of
And these
establishing.
villages, what is the? Did they farm? Like, what is? How do they survive?
Okay, so this particular underserved area, this was a desert where water is already very much in scanty.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they were really very happy to see a simple hand pump, water pump, installed near their place. So they do not have to go 2 kilometers every single day, because after walking every single day, like 2 kilometers for every single day, they're quite drained to do anything else, right?
yeah.
two
I imagine it's
kilometers
pretty hot.
pretty hot as well. Desert area is pretty hot.
Okay, so talk about installing this. So you guys took this money and you did you go there? Like, talk me through the process of getting these funds and then actually bringing this well to this village.
Okay, so we have a remote team. My husband actually have a remote team there, and we really thought that I was not here in Pakistan actually. When I
Yep.
received the airdrop, I asked my husband that I want to contribute towards this significant thing, which is the clean water supply. And
Yep.
I wanted to, donate uh, some chunk of my airdrop. So he was of the idea that I'm going to deploy a team, a very small team, very, local people as well over there. So they already know that what to do, and we were relaxed in terms of that we do not have to go because we could not go, right? We were not here in Pakistan, so we
Yep.
were very relaxed that they are going to handle everything. And we asked them to, take the pictures and
Sure.
show it to us. Each step we were being well informed. So it was, really very, very smooth process. There was nothing very much, very much to be hyped of. I just gave the money and the steps were shown to me live, and it
And
was
how
really.
complicated is it? Like, how do you know how far like they have to drill down? Is it a complicated project, or like does it take many days to do?
It takes around, the planning takes around a week.
Okay.
And yeah, but the installation and everything, it's done about in a day or two.
Wow. And is it
Yeah,
really like unlimited water, so they can just go and pump water by hand and
yeah,
get as much water? Really cool.
really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, and so you posted some of these pictures on, so we'll have to post them again on Proof of Story. So I'll retweet it.
Definitely. Now
And
another project is in line, so
okay,
I'm going to, yeah, I have asked my team over there as well to take recent pictures, and that also, it's not only one installation of the pump. It's going to be 3 to 4 places where the installation of water pump will be there.
cool. Yeah, let's keep doing this. I
Yeah.
mean, how many of these villages would you estimate like exist? Is it
Do
is it
not even ask about it, because our region is lives beyond the poverty line. There are not much education, because the kids they do want to take education, but they are so much engrossed in all these stuffs, like making food for the family, going 2 kilometers for this drinking purpose, and they're so occupied. Also, they are farming as well, so they're very much occupied. They can't even take the you know take education. They cannot even think of taking education.
Yeah,
So
got it.
what I have in mind is to do something beyond the water project as well. I wanted to do something related to healthcare as well, and education as well, food security as well. But water was my first project, because I want, the clean water is the need of everyone, and because of the water, the quality of life will eventually improve, like healthcare will improve. They are going to save hours of daily effort, so they can spend on something meaningful, like educating themselves.
Yeah, got it. Nice.
I,
Okay.
I can recall one philosophy that you shared with me: teach a man to forgo. So I would really like to, would love to know your thoughts and your vision behind this thing.
Yeah, look, there's been a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of use cases that haven't been that beneficial for users, and have been quite as extractive. And I think um, a lot of teams kind of separate themselves and say, like, look, like these are just what gets built on our platform because it is permissionless and anybody can deploy whatever they want, and that's fine. But I think there's also a certain responsibility to try to attract use cases that lift people. For me, in the beginning, it was really kind of payments and access to financial services. So I've lived in South America in the third world, and I've had similar, interactions with um, communities that just were underserved. and that was like originally what spawned my involvement with crypto. Like, and yeah, as I said, like in Brazil, everybody has a cell phone, but they were just waiting for hours at a bank
Mm,
when they had to work, and that was really disruptive.
true.
And so, like stable coins are much easier. If you have a cell phone and a wallet, you don't have to go to a bank, and you can send payments. And so that was what originally attracted me to crypto, is this kind of permissionless open platform that like the little person can leverage.
Awesome.
Um, and then the other part of this is like builders. So anybody can build anything they want and without any permission. And like in the old days, if you wanted to build a technical solution, you would have to like go to Silicon Valley and know somebody and get funded, and then IPO. Whereas here, in the permissionless world, you can just like deploy some app if you have, and now it's even easier, right? So um, so yeah, I want to really foster first use cases that lift people as opposed to just extract. And then secondly, support kind of builders that wouldn't otherwise have this opportunity, and like empower them to build
Mhm.
cool solutions that maybe like lift them out of their current situations.
True.
Um, and yeah, like so first of all, it's very cool that you can take an airdrop and like do something so productive. So thank you for that, and thank you for sharing. But I also want
Really.
people to take an airdrop
Mhm.
and invest in building something that can give them some kind of sustainable
True.
revenue. And so I want to also like bring people like you and those people on this podcast and like highlight this, because as you said,
Yeah.
we're getting marked with this whole scammer, grifter, max extractor. Like everybody's getting grouped into that because
True.
of a few people who come to crypto for that. But the
Hmm.
reality is, like, most people aren't like that. Most people are like you, and like just trying to like make a better situation for themselves and even for others. And so we need to amplify that more so we can
For
drown out
sure.
the scammers.
I just
So
I just want to add also regarding the sustainable solution. This particular community initiative that we took, it was not really
by the way,
only
I'm
about
drinking while you're saying this and just taking it for granted, that
yeah,
we have
for sure, for sure.
such clean water.
Yeah, so
Sorry,
it's not,
sorry to interrupt.
yeah, it was really not about only about helping my people, like my people in my region only. It was, it is, still it is about everyone. Like Fogo has a people with diverse background. So I really thought of integrating a sustainable solution for everyone, those who in need, like irrespective of religion, caste, creed, and everything. Though the if any of you, if any of the community member have any idea or any verified use case, they can come up to us, and we are going to help in a way, like in ways we can, right?
Yeah,
And we really want people to feel, to take the ownership, to feel the impact that is lasting impact, right? And because sustainability comes from that local ownership also. When people protect what they can use, impact becomes permanent.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a clean water initiative. It was just the first project, and we can do more things in and make crypto world a better world, full of meaningful and lasting impact thing.
There we go. I love
Yeah,
it. Okay, so let's end on that. Thanks again for coming on and sharing and all that work.
most
Keep
welcome.
posting about it. Keep posting pictures, and I'll amplify it as much as I can. And yeah, maybe we can have you on again. We can talk about other projects.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me over here. And it was really nice talking to you and sharing, I mean, I want to add few things. Like,
Sure.
we live a life and it should have a purpose, the life becomes meaningful when it is linked to the purpose. So what I am trying to build here is, as I told you, that sustainable solution for everyone based on trust. Trust is the most important factor here, which is also a missing factor in crypto world as well. So I am trying my best to make a lasting impact, and if we stay together as a community, we can do more than help. We can actually empower, more people. Just when you quoted the word like teach a man to fogo, it has a broader vision. Like, people from everywhere can be, have positive impact on themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we are here to give back to the community by not only teaching, by not only giving, but teaching them how to stand on their own, right?
Yep, for sure. Love it. Okay. Thank you again, Sarah. We're out of time, but as I said, keep posting, keep doing that great work, and we'll talk again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.